Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start one of the most fascinating chapters in art, shading. A lot of people use shading just to fill white spaces in their drawings. They do not properly understand what shading is and why we need it.
So let's first understand the science of shading before we jump onto the art of shading. Here I have kept a ball in a box. Are you able to see? No? Why? Because there is no light in this box. What happens when I turn on the light? You can see this ball now. Do you know why? Because the light rays coming from a light source are falling on this object surface and reflecting. These reflected light rays reach our eyes, and that's how we are able to see things. Now let me place a cube next to the ball. Just notice that when light falls on two different type of objects, it reflects differently. That's how we can visually sense different shapes, forms and textures. Now how do we draw these light variations on drawing paper? This is where shading comes into picture. Shading is a technique we use in art to illustrate how light interacts with different type of forms and surfaces. Now let's talk about why shading is so important in visual arts. Let me show you a drawing with lot of hard work done on shading. Let's see another version of this drawing with slightly different shading work. Did you find shading work in second drawing better? Just with little variation in shading, drawing looks lot more realistic. And now let me show you one more variation of shading for the same drawing. How did you find this one? Much better than the second one. In fact, much better, right? Did you notice how a drawing comes to life and becomes vibrant just with little different shading work? That's the importance of shading.
We learned the importance of shading in our last session.
I am going to tell you a secret 4-step formula to make your drawings look perfect. Are you ready? Here we go. First, we must represent the correct shape. Cube should look like a cube and not like a sphere. Second, we must create visual impression of object's three-dimensional form. Third, we must create a visual feel of right kind of surface texture. For example, a metal surface should distinctly look different than a wooden surface. And fourth, we should create the perception of depth in the three-dimensional placement of the object. These 4 principles are very important for us to create realistic drawings. What are the key 4 principles? First, to get the right shape. Second, to get right impression of 3D form. Third, to get right surface texture. And fourth, to get the depth perception. If you get all of them right, your drawings will always be visually appealing.